Chosen one, this moment didn't arrive by accident. Something shifted quietly in the unseen, aligning time, breath, and attention until you landed right here. Not scrolling, not searching, being guided. If your chest feels tight, if your spirit feels alert, if something deep inside you whispered, "Pay attention," that's because heaven has been investigating your path, and this message carries your name in it. You've been walking with questions you couldn't fully explain, a heaviness that didn't match your effort, battles you never announced, losses you never received closure for, confusion that made you doubt your own discernment. And yet, you kept moving, kept praying, kept sensing there was more to the story than what you could see. And Chosen One, before we go deeper, pause for a moment, hit subscribe, and comment if your spirit is already responding. Because this message is about to speak directly to you, not as content, but as confirmation. Because what you thought was delay was detour. What felt like rejection was relocation. What seemed like chaos was calculated mercy. You didn't imagine the pressure. The storm was forming. Conversations were shifting behind your back. Structures you trusted were cracking at the foundation. Energies around you were darkening. Even when smiles stayed polite, you sensed it before it showed itself, like thunder rumbling beneath clear skies. And just as it was about to break, something moved you. An ending you didn't choose, a separation that hurt, a sudden change that felt unfair. You questioned yourself, wondering why life kept rerouting you. But listen closely now. Heaven doesn't panic. Heaven prepares. You were moved not because you were weak, but because you were valuable. Light is never left in the storm's center. It is shielded, repositioned, preserved. What others were about to be consumed by, you were quietly escorted away from. Not loudly, not dramatically, but precisely. Chosen One, the storm wasn't imaginary. The chaos was coming. The collapse was real. But you were relocated, emotionally, physically, spiritually, before it hit full force. You thought you were unlucky. In truth, you were strategically repositioned. And the reason you survived what others didn't is because you weren't meant to go down with it. Stay with me, because what you're about to understand next will reframe everything you thought went wrong. Chosen One, divine intervention almost never announces itself with noise. It doesn't always arrive as lightning in the sky or a voice that shakes the ground. More often, it moves like a whisper through your ordinary days, quiet, deliberate, and precise. Heaven understands something the human mind often forgets. If the warning is too loud, fear interferes. So instead of alarming you, God gently reroutes you. Think back for a moment. How many times did something simply slow down? A message that never came, a plan that lost its energy, a door you were excited about, and then, without drama, you felt tired of pushing. You didn't hear a command to stop, but something inside you resisted moving forward. That wasn't laziness, that wasn't confusion, that was protection working softly before panic ever needed to enter the room. Divine rerouting often looks like lost interest because God removes desire before danger appears. It looks like sudden fatigue because your spirit senses what your eyes cannot yet see. It looks like unanswered calls, postponed meetings, or an unexplained heaviness when you're about to step somewhere you were never meant to go. And in those moments, you questioned yourself, didn't you? You wondered why motivation vanished. You wondered if you were failing, if you were falling behind, if something was wrong with you. But Chosen One, what if nothing was wrong at all? What if that confusion was the signal? What if the uncertainty you felt wasn't abandonment, but divine interference? God does not always block the road ahead. Sometimes He quietly redirects your feet without telling your mind why. Because if He explained everything in advance, you might argue, you might insist, you might walk straight into what He already saw collapsing. There are dangers heaven removes you from before your logic ever catches up. That's why the guidance felt subtle. That's why it felt like stagnation instead of escape. The pause was intentional. The silence was strategic. While you thought nothing was happening, alignment was being adjusted beneath your awareness. You were being moved out of the path of something that would have drained you, entangled you, or broken parts of you that are needed for your future. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed how the most painful reroutes were also the ones that saved you the most? Have you ever looked back and realized, if I had gone through with that, I wouldn't be who I am today? That's not coincidence. That's divine intelligence operating quietly, lovingly, and ahead of time. Chosen one, heaven doesn't need your panic to protect you. It needs your trust. And when you couldn't trust consciously, God still protected you subconsciously. Even when you didn't understand why you were slowing down, pulling away, or losing interest, your spirit understood. So release the guilt. Release the self-blame. You weren't stuck. You weren't delayed. You were being rerouted, softly, silently, mercifully, away from something your soul was never meant to survive. And as you listen right now, ask yourself, what am I finally ready to stop forcing and start trusting instead? Chosen one, some endings happen before you're ready to understand them. Not because you failed, not because you were wrong, but because heaven sees storms forming long before clouds gather. And when chaos is approaching, God does not always warn you with fear. He protects you with separation. There were people, places, and plans that once felt safe to you. Familiar, comfortable, even promised. You invested your heart there. You prayed there. You imagined a future there. So when the connection broke, when the door closed quietly or abruptly, it felt cruel. It felt unnecessary. You grieved something that hadn't yet proven itself dangerous, and that's what made the pain so confusing. How could something that felt right end so suddenly? But chosen one, danger does not always announce itself in advance. Sometimes it smiles, sometimes it waits, sometimes it grows slowly in the background while you're still hoping things will improve. That's why some exits must happen early. If God waited until the chaos was visible, your heart would already be entangled. Your spirit would already be compromised. Your calling would already be carrying wounds it was never meant to carry. Think about it. Have you ever stayed somewhere just a little too long, only to realize later how much it cost you? Heaven remembers that too. So this time, God moved first. He separated you before the storm erupted, because what was coming was not yours to endure. The collapse wasn't assigned to you. The fallout wasn't meant to touch your spirit. And if you had stayed, you would have mistaken endurance for loyalty and sacrifice for purpose. Separation hurts because it interrupts attachment. It pulls you away before your mind has finished justifying why you should stay. That's why it felt abrupt. That's why it felt unfair. But mercy often feels that way in the moment. Protection doesn't always feel gentle. It feels confusing until clarity arrives later. Let me ask you something, chosen one. Have you noticed how peaceful your spirit eventually felt after the separation, even if your heart was still grieving? Have you sensed that something heavy lifted, even though you missed what was familiar? That relief wasn't accidental. That was your soul recognizing safety before your mind could label it. God did not remove you to isolate you. He removed you to preserve you. You were pulled out early because staying longer would have required you to shrink, compromise, or carry destruction that wasn't part of your assignment. Separation wasn't rejection. It was redirection wrapped in grief. And now as you look back with new eyes, ask yourself this. What did that ending save me from becoming? What did that distance protect me from absorbing? You didn't lose what was meant for you. You were spared what would have cost you yourself. Chosen one, mercy often arrives disguised as loss. But one day soon, you'll fully understand. You didn't walk away too early. You were rescued right on time. Chosen one, the silence after survival can be deafening. You made it through the storm, yet there is this quiet ache inside you. This subtle, almost guilty question that whispers in the shadows of your soul. Why me? Why was I spared when others were not? You are not alone in this. This is the paradox of divine protection. To be kept safe while others stumble, to watch from the periphery while calamity touches those you care for, can create a weight that no one else can see, a grief that feels private, almost sacred. But hear this, that ache is not a sign that you are broken. It is a reminder that you were chosen, carefully, intentionally, with purpose. The confusion that follows divine rescue is natural. You may feel disconnected from the world that continues to move through chaos. You might question whether your survival is deserved, whether it is fair, or whether it carries a hidden cost. Perhaps even moments of joy are tinged with a quiet hesitation, as though celebrating would betray the memory of what could not be saved. These are not weaknesses. They are the echoes of your awareness of the divine plan at work. Your soul senses the orchestration behind the scenes, and that awareness can feel almost unbearable in its intensity. Yet, chosen one, consider this. Your survival is not a random accident. It is not a loophole in the system of life. It is not a privilege of circumstance. It is a calling, a divine assignment that began long before you were aware of it. Every hesitation, every pang of guilt, every shadow of confusion is part of the refining process. You are being prepared in the quiet for a purpose that demands you to carry the light through a world that has known darkness. Ask yourself, what is the message your survival is meant to carry? How can your presence now bring clarity, hope, and protection to others? These questions are not rhetorical. They are the gentle tug of destiny on your heart. Understand also, chosen one, that being preserved does not make you better than those who suffered. It does not separate you from compassion. It immerses you deeper into responsibility. Survival is an invitation to step into a higher realm of awareness, to walk softly but powerfully among those who are still in the storm. Your safety is not a cushion of superiority. It is a platform from which your light can shine, a beacon for those who are still navigating darkness. In this quiet space between chaos and calm, lean into your emotions. Allow yourself to feel the guilt, the confusion, the rawness of being spared, but do not let it define you. Let it guide you instead. Let it sharpen your empathy, your purpose, and your understanding of what it truly means to be chosen. And remember, chosen one, the reason you were moved out of the storm was not for comfort alone. It was for impact. Your journey is now a testament, a signal to the world that even when calamity surrounds, divine timing and mercy prevail. So pause here for a moment, breathe, recognize that the disorientation you feel is not a flaw. It is a sacred marker of survival. And as you continue to navigate this path, ask yourself quietly, how can I honor the life I was saved to live? How can my survival become the message others need to see? These questions are the key to transforming survivors' guilt into divine purpose, and they mark the beginning of the next chapter in your spiritual evolution. Chosen one, have you ever paused and felt the weight of what almost happened? That moment when a path seemed certain, yet somehow it shifted. That invitation you didn't take, the conversation that never occurred, the opportunity that vanished without explanation? These moments, the near misses, are not accidents. They are subtle fingerprints of divine orchestration, carefully woven into your life by hands unseen. They are whispers from heaven, signaling, guiding, and protecting you, even when your mind struggles to comprehend the quiet choreography. It is natural to have felt confusion, frustration, or even disappointment when life didn't unfold as you had expected. Perhaps you replayed that moment over and over, wondering, why didn't it happen? What did I do wrong? Was I meant to fail? Chosen one, the truth is far more beautiful and far more protective than your doubts can grasp. Each near miss, every door that closed abruptly, every decision reversed, is not a reflection of your inadequacy. It is a gentle intervention, moving you away from outcomes that could have derailed your spirit, that could have tangled you in struggles you were not meant to endure. Look closer now. Can you see the invisible threads that shifted your journey? That call not returned may have kept you away from conflict. That sudden change in plans may have shielded you from heartbreak. That door that slammed in your face may have preserved your energy, your peace, or even your life. These are the subtle acts of divine rerouting, quiet yet profound. Heaven rarely moves with a crash. It moves with a grace so gentle that the untrained eye sees only coincidence. But for the chosen one, for the soul attuned to spiritual timing, these moments become unmistakable signals that you are not wandering alone. In recognizing these near misses, confusion begins to dissolve. Questions of regret are replaced with gratitude, as you start to perceive the intentionality behind life's delays and detours. Every almost moment is a pause orchestrated by divine wisdom. Every no is a shield. Every redirected step is a merciful hand guiding you to safety. The peace you feel when you acknowledge this is not passive. It is a vibrant understanding that your life is not a series of random events. It is a carefully constructed path, mapped with care and precision. And chosen one, ask yourself this: how often have you survived situations that could have shattered your spirit simply because you were subtly redirected? How many times has life's invisible hand intervened before calamity could even touch you? These are not coincidences. These are divine interventions, calling your attention to the sacred timing that has always protected you. Awareness transforms fear into trust, doubt into certainty, and regret into reverent gratitude. As you reflect on these moments, you begin to see a new rhythm in life, one where every misstep, every detour, every almost moment is part of a grander pattern. You realize that what you once perceived as loss or failure was actually preservation. The universe has been quietly rearranging the pieces, ensuring that when the storm comes, you are not in its path. You are never lost. You are always being guided. So, chosen one, let your heart rest in this truth. Those near misses were never random. They were divine whispers, heaven's invisible hand, keeping you aligned with your purpose, keeping you safe, keeping you whole. Let this awareness seep into your spirit. Let it settle, soften, and expand your understanding of life's mysterious orchestration. And as this clarity rises within you, prepare yourself, because the next revelation is about to illuminate your path even further, revealing the depth of mercy and protection you have always carried without knowing. Chosen one, have you ever felt the gentle weight of mercy without realizing it at the time? Have you paused to consider not only what you have received, but what you were quietly spared from? Many of life's most profound blessings arrive cloaked in disappointment, in doors that close, in paths that vanish, in plans that suddenly shift. At the moment, they can sting. They can feel like rejection or misfortune. But if you look closely, if you slow your mind and open your heart, you will see them for what they truly are: unseen rescues, divine interventions in the quiet, orchestrated just for you. This is a sacred invitation, chosen one, to step softly into gratitude for the invisible shields that have protected you. Not every protection announces itself with thunder or fire. Some arrive as subtle nudges, invisible boundaries, a voice in the silence telling you to pause, to wait, to reconsider. Perhaps you felt frustration when someone left, when a plan failed, when a promise went unfulfilled. And yet, in that space of apparent loss, heaven was quietly redirecting, safeguarding you from experiences that would have wounded your spirit, delayed your destiny, or tangled your soul in pain that was never yours to bear. Do you feel the gentle pulse of this truth, the soft yet undeniable rhythm of divine care? Gratitude in this sense is not passive. It is a deep, active recognition that every near miss, every disappointment, every sudden change in course carries purpose. Chosen one, how often have you looked back and realized that what seemed like a setback was, in fact, a safeguard? How often have you survived challenges that could have destroyed your peace simply because life's invisible hand intervened before you even knew to ask? Pause with me here. Feel the fullness of that mercy. Allow it to wash over you and dissolve lingering resentment, frustration, and even grief. For in honoring what you were spared, you unlock a profound sense of alignment with your true path. You see, this is not about blind optimism or forcing positivity. This is about perceiving the sacred choreography of life, the deliberate timing and tender guidance that have always moved in your favor. Each unseen rescue whispers, "I see you, I am protecting you." Your journey is not random, and your suffering is not required. The universe has been at work quietly, tenderly, arranging circumstances, redirecting outcomes, and preserving your spirit long before you could understand. And the most beautiful part is this: once you recognize these moments, gratitude naturally flows, and with it comes clarity, peace, and renewed purpose. And chosen one, I invite you now to reflect deeply. What unseen rescues have already shaped your life? What doors that closed in apparent disappointment were actually shields of mercy? Can you feel the subtle orchestration behind the events you once resisted or resented? Let yourself sit in this sacred awareness. Let it expand within your chest, filling the spaces where doubt, fear, and regret once lived. Gratitude here is transformative. It softens the heart, sharpens spiritual vision, and anchors you in the truth that you have always been guided, always been protected, and always been known. So take a breath, chosen one, and release the tension of what you thought was lost. Celebrate the invisible forces that move before you even knew to pray. Let this gratitude be your quiet power, your anchor in the chaos, and your reminder that the storms you have endured were never without purpose. And as you allow this understanding to settle, prepare yourself, because the next step is about moving forward, unshaken, free from the shadows of the past, walking fully in the light of what you have been preserved to become. Chosen one, the path ahead is not shadowed by what has already passed. Though storms may have roared around you, though chaos may have tested your faith and stretched your spirit thin, know this: you are not being pursued by the echoes of yesterday. You are being led, carefully, deliberately, tenderly, toward a destiny that has been waiting for you since before you understood your own worth. The fear that the storm will return is natural, but it is no longer your truth. It is a shadow from which you are now free. Walk with me, chosen one, into the quiet assurance that divine timing has already orchestrated your protection. Every near miss, every unseen rescue, every subtle rerouting has been a step forward, not backward. And as you step into the present, you are invited to release the weight of the past. Ask yourself, why cling to what I was spared from? Why fear a storm that has already passed me by? These questions are not rhetorical. They are keys to unlocking the peace that has been waiting quietly within you all along. Your survival, your preservation, your divine rerouting, they were not just acts of protection, they were invitations to move boldly, to trust fully, and to walk freely. There is a soft power in forward motion. It does not rush, it does not push, it does not demand. It is the still, steady confidence that when heaven moves you, it does not drag you back. The past is a teacher, not a jailer. You are no longer bound by the almosts, the what-ifs, or the missteps you thought would define you. Those moments served their purpose. They were lessons, shields, in preparation for the life you are meant to embrace. And chosen one, in walking forward, you are not ignoring the past. You are honoring it by stepping into the future it was always designed to prepare you for. Imagine yourself now, moving with calm certainty. Each step is deliberate yet effortless. You carry the lessons of survival like a cloak, warm and protective, reminding you of both your strength and your divine alignment. The fear that once whispered in your ear is now replaced by clarity. Every heartbeat echoes the rhythm of your own alignment. Every breath affirms that you are not chasing safety, you are receiving it. Heaven has already moved you out of harm's way, and it continues to guide you toward a life rich with purpose, peace, and fulfillment. And chosen one, reflect on this. How often have you allowed fear of the past to dim your vision for the future? How many times have you hesitated to embrace your calling because of the storms you've survived? Today, release that hesitation. Today, step forward with the quiet strength of someone who has been preserved, guided, and chosen. The past no longer controls you. It has equipped you. Every challenge faced, every moment survived, every unseen hand guiding you has prepared you to move freely and fully into your next chapter. So as you take this next step, feel the weight of fear dissolve beneath your feet. Trust the rhythm of divine timing that brought you here. Walk forward without looking back, knowing that every detour, every closed door, every near miss was not punishment, it was protection. And in this forward motion, chosen one, you will find a freedom you have never known. The freedom to live fully, to embrace your purpose boldly, and to shine as the light you were always meant to be. Your path is clear, your destination is aligned, and the storm, though real, will never catch you, because heaven has already positioned you exactly where you were always meant to be.